Hello, my name is Charlie Birchmer, and I did my presentation on life after divorce in middle adulthood. Remain single or marry again. Middle adulthood. What is it? It's around the age of 40 to 65. You are born between 1846 and 1964. You are considered the baby boomers. For every 1,000 adults, 14 ages 45 to 54 and 7 per 1,000 adults over 55 or older have never been married. More than 1/3 of the baby boomers have never been married. 27% of the middle-aged adults 45 to 54 have been divorced. That's 2/3 of the baby boomers. 57% of the middle-aged divorced people are women. More men get remarried than women. Divorce seems to be happening later in the middle adulthood compared to the first 5 or 10 years of marriage that was seen prior to the 2000s. But why divorce? The rates of divorce have declined today, but they are still seen in the age group of 50 or older and have actually doubled. The reasons? Some women can support themselves now and are financially able to support themselves and their children without a spouse. Given the increases in human longevity, the prospect of living several more years or decades with an incompatible spouse may prompt those middle-aged adults to get a divorce or leave the marriage. Others can be going through a midlife crisis. The couples could have grown apart. There is verbal or physical abuse, or property acts increase divorce rates, an increase in the married woman's relative bargaining power. Since prices have gone up, women have had to pull their own in the relationship, and this could have caused problems. There are different types of divorces. The enhancers, they use the divorce to better themselves and to see a more productive, intimate relationship. Or the competitive loners, they use the divorce to grow emotionally but are choosing to stay single. These are mostly women. Here are a few charts and graphs that describes the marriage rate in the U.S. from 1998 to 2018, and it shows how the marriage has suddenly gone down, but it's kind of peaking back up lately in our years. Reason for divorce: infidelity, violence, money, children, grown apart. Dating after divorce. 1 in 4 people who have filed for divorce are or are currently in a serious relationship 1 year after the divorce. Children make dating a challenge. You are seen to have more activities, including your children, and a lot less time dating alone. This is a lot less time to focus on the relationship. Therefore, a lot of them remain single or the relationships do not work out. The anxiety or memories from the past relationship also decrease one from getting a relationship or remarrying. The type of dating nowadays, the social media, the online dating apps can be very frustrating to one. They may not know how to work it, but they provide a serious way for those seniors or those middle-aged adults to meet people when their peers, so people in their community, are already taken. This graph here shows what type of message each age group is most likely to respond to on a dating app, and it shows those that are in the middle ages of 45 to 65, a simple hey or something that makes them laugh, they are more likely to respond to. Children. Parents gatekeep their children in the relationship. Gatekeep is when they regulate the flow of information about their romantic partner to their children. 47% of these adults that date do, but they gradually introduce their children to their dating partner, but when they're about to get remarried, like 13% of them do. Mothers who have children that reside with them most of the time decrease their likelihood of getting remarried again. Therefore, men are more likely to get remarried. Mothers are more likely to marry men without children. Single men actually find unmarried women who have children more attractive. So the question, remain single or get remarried? My take on is to remain single. Why? Because online dating apps can be very tricky with technology. There's always that chance of the partner being not trustworthy, or you hear some crazy stories. Also, many races or cultures are not always on the dating apps. Like this woman, she says, there aren't many black men in my age group that are available and are attracted to black women. People want the same race or culture or ethnicity, but it is hard to find in the dating apps. This woman says, at this age, there is so much life stuff that's happened, good and bad. It's hard to meld with someone. At this age, it's hard to bond with someone after the whole life experience. Men, they want committed relationships. Women, they want companionship with no demanding roles. Men face narrow social networks, while women face competition from younger women in friendships, and they are limiting their pool of eligible partners. People are seen not ready to settle down. They think they're too young. They're not financially prepared. They haven't found what they're looking for. There's too much to look past from this person. It's hard to remarry. Some do remarry though. Declining, but you see a decline in remarriage actually. The rate of remarriage dropped more for younger adults than middle-aged older adults. So as we age, we actually are seen to remarry. In 2013, 67% of adults 55 to 64 and 50% of adults 65 and older had remarried, up from 55 and 34% in 1960. So today, when you're middle-aged, you're actually seen to remarry compared to back then. Men, as I said before, are actually more likely to be remarried. Today, women are found to remarry more than they did in 1980. Remarriage has increased in whites and declined for other racial and cultural groups. While women are seen to be remarried compared to white males, they actually remain single. This one graph shows third time's a charm, and it actually shows the newlyweds that have been married 3 times or more, and you actually see that ages 55 and older, that middle adulthood, they're actually more likely to be married more than 3 times, more than once. So, success after remarriage. If personal growth was found in the divorce, a new marriage may be successful for one. Without kids to take care of, or jobs, or older adults are forming new kinds of relationships that work for them. Divorced adults are seen to end up in the same scenario 2 or 3 times in the same marriage or in marriages after. Remarriages have some challenges that first marriages did not have, such as new role play, their work, their children, etc. The lack of rules or expectations in new family structure can be a problem. The new rules can be challenging. Dating apps can be challenging. The rate of divorce among remarriage is higher than among first marriages. Rebuttal. Why one should remarry? Well, some should remarry because they are lonely and need that companionship. They may need a relationship or someone to be there for them, someone to take care of them, or someone to exert their care. They want to be taken care of. They need help healing a loss or help getting their life together. They need a friend, a best friend, someone to talk to, someone to always be there. Although there is no timeline to marry, no timeline says you have to wait until your heart feels ready and your kids are good with it. A story that I found from my scholarly source says 2 widows find each other after their spouses die of cancer. The couple's right. The connection Michael and I had after going through such similar circumstances turned into love for one another, and now all of us are moving throughout this journey of grief together, while we also work to keep the memory of our former spouses alive. Although this is good, remarriage is good, it is better off to stay single. In reality, the second, the third time, they do not work. You find yourself in the same relationships. Most couples have kids that get in the way of their relationships. The jealousy between each other, between the families. And most couples are seeing they don't even live together once they reach middle adulthood. Although remarriage seems like the answer, staying single is.